Have a pleasant evening to one and all. In this episode, we will continue our discussion on the remaining topics which are parts of your research assignment. We've done with our midterm exam and the result is good. There were few students who failed the exam, and please, kung sino-sino man kayo, double your time to study. No? Exert effort in complying other requirements, uh, especially your research assignment and the reaction papers in each PRVs, no? Because this time, if you failed, I'm sorry to tell you that you will enroll this subject again. For how many years I've been very lenient to you, talagang ginagawan ko ng paraan para lang pumasa yung iba. And this time, since nagawa ko na ang mga bagay na yun, hindi naman pwede na sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay maawa tayo dun sa student, no? So if you feel this time, you cannot blame, no? You cannot blame me anymore because I told you already that you have to do your part as a student, no? This is for your own good, reminding you that I and our dean and the faculty staff of the criminology department is aiming to produce quality students as graduates of the Southern Mindanao colleges. Okay, sana wag po kayong mag-relax. No? Okay, this time, we will discuss one topic of your research assignment. No? The jurat and acknowledgement. In the screen, no, you can see our learning objectives. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to know the key difference between jurat and acknowledgement. And then you can define what is jurat and what is acknowledgement. You can distinguish the key elements between jurat and acknowledgement, know its legal implication, and determine its application and purpose. So those are our learning objectives in this episode. Okay, we will go on directly to what is jurat. Did you encounter the word jurat? A jurat in an affidavit is a crucial component that serves as a notary public certification on document, confirming that the person signing the document personally appeared before the notary, signed it in their presence, and swore to the contents of the document. Okay, so the jurat typically includes details such as when, where, and before whom the oath was sworn or affirmation was made. Okay, here are the key aspects of a jurat in an affidavit. So, ito na rin yung pinaka-purpose ng jurat. Okay, number one, it verifies that the signer of the document appeared before the notary, was given an oath or affirmation, and signed the document in the notary's presence. Ibig sabihin, the affiant or the one who executed an affidavit must appear before the notary public or to a person who is clothed by the law who has a notarial commission to perform such act purposely. The affiant will take an oath as an affirmation before signing that particular document. So that is the number one purpose of jurat. Number two, it ensures that the signed statements in the affidavit are made under oath, making them legally binding. Okay, we learned in our previous discussion or in a previous PRVs that making false statement under oath is what? Is a violation for the crime of perjury. Ibig sabihin, once you are under oath, making this written statement, you are now legally binding or accountable of whatever statements indicated in your affidavit. Okay, number three, it can be used as evidence of a sworn statement, especially in legal proceedings. Yes, your written statement after taking an oath before a notary public will be served as will be served also as your sworn statement. When presented in court, maybe it's normal that the defense will really scrutinize your affidavits or your documents that is being presented there. No, but when it comes to the authenticity of that certain documents, no doubts that it is authentic because of this jurat. Meaning to say, uh, it is really affirmed, no, not only by the affiant, but also by a lawyer, no, who has a notarial commission, di ba? So it is presumed that once you affix your signature before a notary public, all your statements are true to the best of your knowledge. So that's how important jurat is. Okay, let's go on to the components of jurat. Number one, the jurat typically includes spaces for the affiant or the person making the affidavit and the witness to sign. Okay, that is the number one component of jurat. Number two, it states whether the affidavit was sworn or affirmed and includes details like the witness name. So, pinaka-importante yan, no? The witness name, address, and qualification, often a notary public, as well as the date and place the affidavit was made and the required information, including their signature, seal, and commission number of the notary public or administering officer. Later, I will show to you on the screen an example of jurat para mas makita ninyo kung ano talaga yung jurat, di ba? But before that, we will discuss first its legal implication. Okay, the legal implications of jurat, no? Okay, this is now the legal implication. The signer in a jurat swears or affirms the truthfulness of the documents under penalty of perjury. So yun na ang sinasabi ko kanina. Making false statements, no, can lead to legal consequences such as fines or imprisonment. The notary is responsible for verifying the signer's identity and ensuring that all documents are properly signed and witnessed. And when it comes to the validity and recognition, jurats are number one. No, jurats are commonly found in legal documents like contracts, affidavits, and sworn statements. Number two, a jurat requires the affiant to sign. So that is very important, no? To sign it in front of the notary. In essence, a jurat in an affidavit is essential for providing legal recognition, authentication of documents, and ensuring the truthfulness of the statements made in the document. It plays a critical, and number three, jurat, no, it plays a critical role in legal proceedings and can have serious consequences if false statements are included. Okay? And sa baba, makikita ninyo, so yan ang sources natin. Okay? So, pwede nyong i-open yan, no? I-research nyo yan para makita nitong saan tayo kumukuha ng source, no? Para sa lecture natin. Okay? Uh, Here is an example of jurat in an affidavit. Okay, in the screen, is a sample of jurat and may need to be modified based on specific state requirements and the type of affidavit. The jurat should be placed at the end of affidavit. So makikita talaga yan doon sa dulo ng affidavit after the affiant signature. Okay, so kung makikita ninyo dyan, yung affiant is si PSSG Jose Marie L. Netche. Okay? So the notary public administering officer must fill in all the required information, including their signature, seal, and commission number. As you can see, after ng affiance, no? Affiance signature, yang si attorney, no, no, yang si PSSD Jose Marie Netche, no? Dapat may, hindi ko lang nalagyan ng signature yan, pero dapat may signature yan. Okay? After nyan, yung may subscribe, no? Kung makikita nyo, may nakasulat dyan, naka caps lock, yung highlighted na, naka-highlight na green, no? Yung nakasulat na subscribe and sworn to before me, and hanggang sa baba, no? Tignan nyo sa pinakababa, no? Including the page number until series of 2024, no? Or 2020, yang sa pinakababa, yan ang covered ng jurat. Okay? Ibig sabihin, itong jurat, no, ang magsasign dito, no, ang magsasign dito is ang notary, public, no? Pero bago mag-sign, bago i-subscribe ng isang notary public, the affiant must what? Must ano muna siya, tawag dito, mag-swear, no? Mag-swear before the said notary public. Okay? And then, sa ibabaw naman, yung may in witness whereof, no? So makikita nyo, in witness whereof, yung hindi naka-highlight na green, no? Yung puti lang. In witness whereof, that is an example of acknowledgement signed by an affiant. And that will be our next topic to be discussed. Okay? So, sana nakuha ninyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng jurat. Okay? At saan makikita ang jurat. So, usually, no, based on example, no, makikita yung jurat doon sa pinaka dulo ng affidavit after ng signature ng affiant. Okay? So, sana klaro na sa inyo ang jurat. Okay. In the context of an affidavit, an acknowledgement, no? Punta tayo dito sa acknowledgement. What is acknowledgement? No? An acknowledgement, it refers to a notary acknowledgement, which is a critical element that validates the authenticity and legality of the document. So, para mas maintindihan natin, no, here are the key points, no? Key points regarding acknowledgement in an affidavit. So, the purpose of an acknowledgement, number one, an acknowledgement in an affidavit involves a notary public certifying that the individual signing the document has acknowledged that they sign it voluntarily, so hindi talaga pinipilit, voluntarily, and that the contents are true to the best of their knowledge. Ibig sabihin pala, this acknowledgement serve as a what? Certification, no? Attesting that the said document or affidavit is really executed by an affiant. Bear in mind that an affiant, as I discussed earlier, can also acknowledge, his or her statement by simply putting his or her signature on a document or affidavit before a notary public. As you can see in the previous example of an affidavit earlier, no, that after the statement of an affiant, there was a portion there mentioning in witness whereof I have heard to affix my signature this day of, then the year, then as you can see, the place where the what do you call this? The place uh where the affidavit is executed, no? So ang nakalagay diyan is Liloy doon sa example, no? Balikan nyo, dito sa example, balikan natin. Yan, kung makikita nyo. Then the province, Zamboanga del Norte, and of course, in the Philippines, the country. So this statement simplifying that an affiant is acknowledging his or her statement that he or she uh, is not forced, coerced, no, direct or directed by somebody to sign, but it is voluntarily and willingly, no, to the best of their ability. So ibig sabihin pala, no, ang pag-acknowledge nito, so hindi sa pilitan, talagang voluntarily. Okay, walang nagdidikta, no, hindi siya threaten, no, kundi kusang loob na talagang ina-acknowledge niya na, for example, doon sa affiant na ikaw yung nag-execute ng affidavit, hindi kasi yan isa-subscribe ng isang notary public or isang lawyer ah, pag hindi mo i-acknowledge na sa'yo talaga yan. Di ba? Kaya nga, kailangan mo talagang mag-take an oath. So, I hope meron na kayong idea kahit kunti kung ano ang kaibahan ng jurat at acknowledgement. Anyway, mamaya makikita pa natin kung ano yung key difference ng jurat at saka acknowledgement. So, based on the given examples, no, dito sa examples, no, usually pag sinabi nating jurat, makikita talaga yan, no, inuulit ko lang, makikita talaga yan after, no, after ng signature ng isang affiant. Okay? And then, yung acknowledgement naman is before ng jurat. Yung may pangalan ng affiant at yung sinasabi ko kanina na may in witness whereof. So parang ano kasi, doon mo ina-acknowledge na yung mga uh, yung mga important statement na nilagay mo doon sa affidavit ay sa'yo talaga yon. So yun, no? So yun ang acknowledgement. Okay, balik tayo dito sa purpose ng acknowledgement. So tapos na tayo doon sa number 1, punta tayo dito sa number 2. So sabi dito, it serves to verify the identity of the person signing the document and ensure that they are aware of and understand the content of what they are signing. So it is very important that before signing a document or affidavit, you understand all the contents of what you are signing for. Baka mamaya, sign ka lang ng sign, yun pala, ikaw pala ang madidiin doon sa pinipirmahan mo, di ba? Nalinti ka na. Sobra ka pa sa nabudol. Bear in mind, you have to read first before signing a document para hindi ka magkakamali. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng personal experience, no? Sa trabaho ko, no? It was a legitimate drug buy bust, no? Binanggit ko talaga ng legitimate kasi pag buy bust operation, legitimate naman talaga. Ang nangyari kasi doon is hindi talaga maiwasan na yung mga hinuhuli natin ay lumalaban, no? Nanlaban po siya ng laban. Kaya to make the story short, no, siyempre hindi naman hayaan ng hayaan namin na kami yung mapahamak. So siya talaga yung naunahan namin siya. No, naunahan namin siya. Pero just to neutralize, no, just to neutralize uh, that person. So, siyempre, pag may ganun na mga pangyayari, automatic yan. Magkakaroon kami ng tinatawag na motu proprio investigation, no, conducted by the Internal Affairs Service, no. Ah, ang nangyari kasi nga marami naman kami noon, no, marami kaming nag-operate. Kaso lang nung nakita ko doon sa affidavit, no, hindi kasi ako ang investigator na hawak doon. No, kasama lang din ako sa operating unit. Pero yung investigator is iba yung investigator. So nung di sinabi ng investigator na mag-sign na ng affidavit, so binasa ko muna. No, nung nakita ko doon sa affidavit, no, nalaman ko na konti lang kami ang nandoon, no. Kaya siyempre, ah inedit ko yung affidavit, no. Inedit ko yung affidavit, no. Parang inukma ko lang kung ano talaga yung mga totoong pangyayari. So, at the end of the investigation conducted by the IAS, siyempre, na, na ano ako, na safety ako. So, yung iba lang ang uh, napatawag doon sa IAS for that investigation. Pero kung ipapatawag naman ako, punta na rin naman ako doon, no? Pero yun, pero dapat kung siguro kung hindi ko binasa yung affidavit, no, kung hindi ko binasa, talagang mapapasama ako doon sa ipapatawag sa IAS. Kasi nga yung pangalan ko is makakasama doon sa ginawang statement ng investigator na hindi ko naman yun totoong ginawa. So parang ganon. Okay? So let's proceed to the uh, components of an acknowledgement. An acknowledgement typically includes, no, yung naka-underline, no, tandaan nyo yan. An acknowledgement typically includes the date, the name of person signing the document, so yun na yung affiant, the notary public's information, no, importante din yan, and a statement about the signer acknowledging the document voluntarily. No, the acknowledgement section usually states that the signer appear before the notary, declared that they signed the document of their own free will and understood its contents. No? So, yun ang components ng acknowledgement. Now, punta tayo dito sa legal implication ng acknowledgement. Okay. An acknowledgement in an affidavit carries legal weight and ensures the document is admissible in court, no, or other official capacities. It signifies that the person signing the document is aware of the implications of their statements and has affirmed them under oath. So, yun ang pinaka-importante. No? Kasi nga, pag ina-acknowledge mo na talaga, once you affix your signature there, no, you are affirming that all the statements are true and correct, no, to the best of your ability. Kaya nga, pag nagsisinungaling ka dito, talagang pwede kang kasuhan ng perjury. Okay? When it comes naman sa validity and recognition of an acknowledgement, notary acknowledgement are essential for legal documents like affidavits, contracts, deeds, and other agreements. The acknowledgement section is usually signed by the notary public who affirms that the person signing the document did so willingly and with full understanding. Okay, so wag po talaga kayong ma-confuse dito, no? Kasi ang sinasabi dito, the acknowledgement section is usually signed by the notary public. So, yun, wag po kayong ma-confuse na tawag dito, yung acknowledgement, no, must be uh, signed by a notary public, no? But yun nga yung sinasabi ko, bago i-subscribe or i-sign yan ng isang lawyer or notary public, no, you have to affirm first, no? You have to take an oath, no? Pwede mong pirmahan yan, no, una, pero later, pag pumunta ka na doon sa notary public, talagang mag-take ka muna ng oath bago niya pirmahan yung ah pirmahan niyo yung ang isang affidavit, no? So, saan pipirma rather, saan pipirma yung notary public? So, doon na kanina yung sa baba after ng appliance signature. So, doon sa may tinatawag na jurat. Okay? So, yan. So, yan ang example ng acknowledgement, no? Makikita nyo sa screen, no? Yung mga naka-highlighted na green, no, that is example acknowledgement, no? That is an attestation, no, by an investigator. No, mamaya i-discuss natin further 'yan. Okay? In summary, no, an acknowledgement in an affidavit is specifically a notary acknowledgement, or it can be also an affiant acknowledgement or investigator's acknowledgement. Okay? So, acknowledgement plays a crucial role in verifying the authenticity and validity of the document. No, it ensures that the person signing the affidavit is aware of the content, signs it voluntarily, and confirms the truthfulness of the statements made. Okay, so balik tayo dito sa example ng acknowledgement, no? No, ang sabi diyan, no, ang sabi dito pala, no? May need to be modified based on the specific statement requirements and the type of affidavit. The acknowledgement should be placed at the end of the affidavit after the affiant signature. Okay, nasabi ko na yan kanina, di ba? The notary public must fill in all the required information including the signature seal and commission number. So, paulit-ulit lang, no? Kung susumahin, parang same lang talaga itong acknowledgement at saka jurat, no? Ang jurat na makikita at the end of the affidavit that need to be acknowledged, no? Yung sa jurat, kailangan pa rin i-acknowledge. Ang tanong doon, sino ang mag-acknowledge doon sa jurat? So, ang mag-acknowledge doon sa jurat is the notary public or the lawyer, no? But ang kaibahan lang nila is that jurat is the notary public's or the administering officer's acknowledgement. So, yon ang klaro na explanation. So, ibig sabihin, yung jurat pala is the notary, no, take note this one, no? The jurat is the notary public's or the administering officer's acknowledgement that an affiant is truly executed an affidavit by taking an oath before them, while acknowledgement can be acknowledged by any of those persons I mentioned, no? It can be acknowledged by an affiant, the one who executed the affidavit. It can also be acknowledged, no, by the notary public by subscribing, no, by subscribing that particular document, and the investigator also can acknowledge, no, based on his or her attestation at the end of the affidavit. Usually, kung ito ay a judicial affidavit, talagang mayroong sa last portion ng affidavit is mayroong tinatawag na attestation ng investigator na siya yung kumuha ng affidavit ng affiant, no? Okay? So as you can see sample in the screen, uh, yun na nga, that is an attestation made by an investigator in the judicial affidavit of an affiant, no? So the investigator acknowledging that he is the one who took the affidavit of an affiant. So based on this example, makikita natin na may acknowledgement, meron ding jurat sa baba, no? In the next episode, we will discuss what is judicial affidavit versus narrative affidavit. So, nagkaiba lang 'yan sa formatting, paano gawin ang affidavit, no? Basta judicial affidavit, lagi niyong tandaan, it is a question and answer. While narrative, you are simply narrating the chronological of events based on the statement uh, made by an affiant. Okay? So, punta tayo dito sa summary, no, para mas maintindihan pa natin ng maigi, no, kung ano yung kaibahan ng jurat at saka acknowledgement. In summary, no, the difference between a jurat and acknowledgement in an affidavit lies in their distinct purposes and legal implications. Jurat in an affidavit, no, the purpose. So a jurat certifies that the affiant or person making the affidavit has sworn an oath or affirmation affirming the truthfulness of the statements in the document. So, dito sa jurat, no, ang nag-certify dito, sino nga? Yung notary public, no? Na sinicertify niya na yung affiant talaga ang nag-execute ng affidavit, no? Affirming the truthfulness of the statements in the document. Okay. So now let's proceed to the key elements, no? Parang review na rin to, no? So diniscuss natin kanina what is jurat. Dito sa jurat, no? Number one, the affiant signs and documents, no? Signs and documents in the presence of a notary. The notary administers an oath or affirmation to the affiant. Okay, so ibig sabihin, dito sa jurat, hindi pwede na wala dito yung ah wala dito yung affiant. No, dapat he or she personally appeared before a notary public. Okay, number two, the affiant swears that the contents of document are true under penalty of perjury. And that is the legal importance. No? Kailangan niyang mag-swear na totoo talaga lahat yung mga sinasabi niya sa kanyang in-execute na affidavit. Number three, the jurat ensures that affiant statements are made under oath, making them legally binding. Okay, na-explain ko na yan kanina. Number four, it is commonly used in affidavits, depositions, and certain statements where the affiant needs to attest the truthfulness of the document. Okay? Acknowledgement in an affidavit, ito naman, no? Ito naman yung acknowledgement. Ang purpose, no? An acknowledgement certifies that the person signing the document acknowledges their signature voluntarily and understand the contents but does not require an oath or affirmation regarding the document's truthfulness. So, yun ang kaibahan, no? No, ang key elements dito, number one, no, mayroon tang dalawang key elements ng acknowledgement. Number one, no, as you can see, diyan sa screen, no, hindi ko lang nalagyan pala ng number, no, diyan sa baba ng key elements ng acknowledgement. Pero yan ang number one. The signer need not sign the document in the presence of the notary. So, explain ko ito ng konti. Paano po ito mangyayari? So, ganito yan. Halimbawa, nag-execute ka ng affidavit. So usually, pag ito ay isang inquest case, no? Ang nagpe-prepare ng affidavit, no? Ang nagte-take ng affidavit is yung investigator. So pag natapos na yung affidavit, pwede na agad papirmahan doon sa affiant kung sino yung nag-execute ng affidavit. Pwede siya yung complainant, no? The affiant can be a complainant, can be an arresting officer, no? Can be also the investigator itself, no? Kasi minsan nag-execute ng affidavit yung uh, investigator, especially in drug cases. Okay? So, doon pa lang sa pagpirma niya doon sa kanyang affidavit, no, in-acknowledge niya na lahat ng sinasabi niya doon is totoo to the best of her or his knowledge without the presence of the notary public. Okay? Number two, the acknowledgement verifies the identity of the signer and confirms that the signature is voluntary. Okay? So, ganito kasi yan. So, pagkatapos na ma-acknowledge ng affiant, no, nakapirma na siya doon sa tawag dito, nakapirma na siya doon sa kanyang affidavit, the investigator now will assist, no? Will assist the complainant, no? For example, may nag-file ng kaso, no? I-assist na yung complainant, no? Dalhin niya doon sa usually sa settings ng mga police stations, yung complaint is dinadala talaga doon sa fiscal. Then minsan, no, pag hindi pa na-subscribe ng ng hepe yung isang yung affidavit, no, yung fiscal mismo ang nagsa-subscribe. Pero hindi yan isa-subscribe ng fiscal pag wala mismo yung nag-execute ng affidavit. Okay? Sana klaro sa inyo, no? Sinasabi ko lang yung routine, no, yung sequence paano nangyayari yung acknowledgement. Okay? Paano ina-acknowledge ng isang affiant yung kanyang statement. Okay? So, when it comes to legal importance, no, an acknowledgement is a crucial for verifying the signer's identity and ensuring that they sign the document willingly. It is typically used in legal documents such as contracts, deeds, and powers of attorney. So, ito lang yung tandaan nyo. The key differences, no? Jurat involves an oath or affirmation regarding documents, truthfulness signed in the notary's presence, while acknowledgement confirms the voluntary signing of the document, does not require an oath, and can be signed outside the notary's presence. In essence, a jurat is used when the affiant needs to swear to the truthfulness of the document, while an acknowledgement is used to verify the voluntary signing of the document. Understanding the distinction between these two notarial acts is essential to ensure the proper execution of legal documents like affidavits. Okay? So that's the end of our topic in this episode. Hoping that you clearly understand what is jurat and acknowledgement. Before I end this lecture, may I remind you that we are now in the fifth episode, and I am expecting 5 reaction papers, and please continue your research assignment. Dapat aabot yan ng mga more or less 100 pages or more. No? Advanced information regarding your final compliances. We will shift to the preparation of an inquest case relative to the crime in violation of Republic Act 9165, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. So this time, I will provide, no, I will be the one providing you templates, no, and I will send it to our GC so that you can immediately start making this case folder. Class marchers, no, take charge to Mabantas group. divide your section into two. While Narbus group, divide your section into three. So tandaan nyo na, kasi mas marami kasi yung strength ni Narbus group compared to Mabantas group. Each group must have a team leader. After grouping yourselves, class marchers, please give me a copy of your respective groups. The photographs that you will be making here, no? So, gagawin yung case folder must be real. Ibig sabihin, kayo talaga ang gagawa at magpi-perform. You have to portray an actual bypass operation. You can ask your seniors how it was executed. Team leaders, you can message me, no, so that I can guide you as well. Good luck, cream students. God bless. More energy, more power in doing your activities. Thank you and mabuhay.